So on to and my personal record was 9 wins, 2 losses. I did pretty well. Um, First round, I faced Neonectars. That was pretty much. I didn't have much practice against it, so I was a little nervous going into it. It really came down to who gets the die roll in that matchup. A lot of the times, they played some interesting decks. Like like they used the grade 2 with no ability with it. I don't know what's it called, but it was just regular 10k. It was weird to see it, but they also had a different grade 1. I don't remember the card, but I was able to use, as long as you get to Serena on your opening plays, you should have a little bit of advantage on that. And going first really helps because they don't usually get enough draw to handle the 66 column by the first turn before their grade 3 turn. And when you're on grade 3 and you're hitting them with a full board of melody, it's really rough for them to guard it. I brought them to pretty much close to no health by the end of it, by my second turn and grade 3 turn, and it was fun. Next, my round 2 opponent was OTT Magus, which was very surprising. I was nervous when I saw the bunny. I was like, this is not going to end well. And because if it was Imperial Daughter, I would have struggled a lot more. But the major clutch card, in my opinion, I was able to ride her in that matchup. Cannon really, I rushed them down. It helped. But Cannon helped seal the deal with them only having 1 protect marker left. And I was able to rip most of their cards out of hand through the Cannon powers and the Sonatas and the Karos. They just didn't have much to stand by. Round 3, my opponent was a Neonectar player as well. That was rough. We were both at 5 damage by the time we were by my grade 3 turn. He pushed me pretty hard. I pushed him pretty hard. But it came down to me just getting out the final crit on my drive check, and it pushed him out for game. Next came the round 4 opponent, my first loss of the match. I faced Izel, Golds. That was very interesting. He won the die roll. I didn't get enough on the defensive triggers when he started going off. He got 5 to 8 attacks off on me, and he just hit the nuts with with it. It wasn't even funny. I was on my grade 3 turn at least. I got him to at least 4 damage before he took me out, but it happens. My 5th round opponent, OTT Magus again, which I'm surprised to see 2 Maguses in a game. I was like, in a tournament, I was like, it's very interesting. I have the better opposition against Magus than I would any other clan of OTT, because they don't create enough perfect guards in my opinion compared to anything else. But again, Clutch, Sonata, and Kara was my kind of big go-tos. They kind of gave the power pushes, and it wasn't too bad of a matchup. My 6th round opponent was Narukami. My team won that before we finished out, but I won that match personally. He didn't ride onto the restanding Narukami unit. He rode on to Vermilion. Vermilion on his second ride, so he was at a very bad loss situation there, because if he rode on the restander, it might have been a different outcome. But personally, I had definitely had to thank Fina for the interception. Putting one behind the Vanguard so they couldn't remove it was the best optimal play, because as long as it's behind the Vanguard, they can't pull to the front to retire it, so swapping my units around didn't really matter. I could move in, give the 10Ks here or here, and that's makes it just a little bit easier to guard. She being there is definitely a big importance. My next round 7 opponent was Pale Moon, and that was kind of on the easiest streak. I think he had a rough day. It could see on his expression a little bit, but the Pale Moon was just a regular standard Pale Moon. I didn't see past his Beast Tamer, but I just outpowered it. Pale Moon does get a nice little few tricks on his turns, but winning the die roll, going first, and getting your grade 3 twice, they can't do much. Followed by round 8, my our 8th round opponent. I faced Gold Azelle again, but this time I was at the advantage. I pushed him harder. He couldn't. I hit a lot of D triggers when he was trying to push me. It just helped a lot better in that situation. Again, a little bit better off. Now we go on to standings at that point was 7 wins, 1 loss, and which isn't bad. That's fantastic, in my opinion. First major bushy event I've ever went to, and I'm on a good record here. We go into top 8. We get 7th place out of the 8, so we just barely made the cut. We were so nervous about it, but so top 8. I faced a Bermuda Triangle deck. I haven't seen any Bermuda mirror match the whole game, and it was finally time to start seeing them come out as steamrollers, because that's all that top 8 had. So that matchup, was rough. I guarded early to prevent damage so I could survive at least the second turn of the Sonata play, because he won the die roll. I knew that if I didn't get at least another turn after his second turn, it was over with. But what happened was, when I filtered out, my damage zone had 4 crits in it by the time it was done, and then I proceeded to swing. He had only enough to be able to guard the left 2 columns. I swing. First drive check was a crit. Second drive check was another crit. So he went from 3 damage to 6 in one blow. He was out after that, which it was after he cut my deck and stuff like that. After the shuffle, it just happened. We were both surprised by that. Next round was facing against the local team at my shop. I played against Ryan, and he had Melody as well. It was I won the die roll. I went first. I rushed him down, but then I proceeded to defend his rush, so that when he started trying to do the same plays as I did, I had a way of guarding out using defensive triggers and stuff like that early on, so that he didn't have much of a chance to stop my pushes. Then came down to the final match of the Nectars. It was a very tough match. I got rushed down a bit harder than I didn't have enough guard value to stop. He hit a good couple drive checks with triggers and stuff like that. I didn't have enough to keep going. Major thing that would have probably helped me get to my next turn afterwards was remembering that Fina can be used on the Guardian Circle's Melody skill, so that I could have played Fina and then had my 2 interceptors be able to come in to guard in that final attack, so I would have had 1 more turn in. But that's where our end was at the top. And I can't complain for a major bushy event. I can't say much. I'm glad that I had really reliable teammates like Tom and Dwayne. I can't say without them, I wouldn't have been anywhere near close without them. We both, me and Dwayne definitely pulled our weight. Tom definitely pulled his at the end rounds, and that was great. It was a lot of fun. I want to come back next year and take the gold. And I want to give a shout out to the Magic Satchel store. He's definitely helps me with a lot of my cards and providing. And then I want to give one final shout out to Triple Sleeve TCG. He helped out getting some cards to get Dwayne's deck up and running, and I do appreciate for all of these two store providers do for us. They definitely are great community players, and I recommend them highly. And that is all for this video. Enjoy, and like, comment, subscribe.